ma we do the Magoma National Aboriginal Leoma West Mana. We do the Makoma. Extremagan Bigis Guanama Obsisomane one. Ego mana a Nascamawa money do ne de gaiat. The rebate of state to go vici how the how go Kiashino. Eto anno nista ngake the mugs in man minister. A swim in money do ne de gai. What I spoke of is acknowledging the Creator. Talk to the Creator so that we can do things right for National Aboriginal Day that's coming. The flags will be going up as protocol for our First Nation culture. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about the success that Horizon School Division has managed to implement our cultural belief and work with First Nation people to develop an understanding of First Nation people so that they can implement and put something into curriculums in school. G18, I like it. What I pay down, come here. Every big square up seas. Talk my language. Ego mana, I'm a hand, I pay down. Uta school board, Horizon School. I like the pairs that come here at Horizon School Division. Okay, I seen what the gato to skate. Nchike ten mana ne when mana capito de daime. I am pleased that the staff here at Horizon School Division have worked with First Nation people to bring our culture here and have an understanding of our beliefs and work with us to build a bridge between First Nation people and to implement some of our language, our culture, our pride, and our prayer, and work with us First Nation people in trying to better educate our children in the school system. And they came a long way, to develop and work with the understanding, of working with First Nation people. I like it, my relatives. Indian people come here. Atuske chig working. The Gamamio chig. Okay. Joas sakuk utama kabe chig. It's good for our children that come here have understanding of our culture, who we are as First Nation people.
Anin, my name is Mary Culbertson. I am the first Indigenous Woman Treaty Commissioner of Saskatchewan. I am from the Ittitikoose First Nation, and I am Saulteaux, Irish, and English. My family is the Musqueam family, and I am proud of my families. On National Indigenous Peoples Day, it is our day to show Canada and all its citizens the beauty of our culture, the beauty of our languages, and the beauty of our people celebrating resiliency. We're celebrating our grandparents' resolve, their sacrifices and suffering that they endured so we could still be here. We need to acknowledge those on Indigenous Peoples Day. We will stand with each other against systems that discriminate, against systems that intentionally so divide and establish color lines to where the color of your skin determines your worth to those in places of decision making. Our systems are built on a history of systemic discrimination. It is colonial systems that have put Indigenous people for generations into residential school systems, into the foster care system, into prisons and institutions. The goal was to take the Indian out of the child. They took children from birth away from their mothers, from their families, from their communities, and from their identities. It is these systems that took away our languages and culture and our way of life from many of our people. It is systems that were not created for Indigenous people to prosper and to be healthy or to be safe in their own lands. Our histories in this country show this quite plainly. When we sit in places of power and privilege and authority and look around, that's when we can't see inequities in front of us because we don't want to see them. They are right in front of our eyes. This is a stark reality right here at this time in our lands. We are in a time that our knowledge keepers and elders before us predicted. There is sickness gripping the world, and there is a social justice revolution happening across the globe because we watched a man in a position of authority kill a black man and think nothing of it while it was filmed. If we needed a reminder of the importance of education and honest and courageous conversations in Canada and Saskatchewan, the current situation we are seeing and experiencing around the globe is sadly providing it to us. These troubles demonstrate that historical wounds and racism don't just go away. Healthy societies and sustainable living standards cannot be built upon systems designed to reflect a belief in the superiority of one group of humans over another. In Canada, we need to examine our historical pasts in order to build a promising future for all. This cannot be said enough, and we need to keep doing these things. Our treaties were entered into through ceremonies, creating a sacred covenant, and our ancestors intended this relationship to last as long as the grass grows, the sun shines, and the rivers flow. The spirit and intent of treaties were of kinship, mutual benefit, and shared stewardship of these lands. The Indian residential school system is sadly just one example of governments pursuing policies contrary to the treaties. The treaties remain in place, and if we strive to return to the spirit and intent of the treaties our ancestors entered into, then we can ensure we build a better future for all our children. We believe that treaty implementation is a pathway towards true reconciliation. In times like now, things get hard, and it will take significant work. We must learn and embrace our history, build authentic relationships, and respect and revitalize our culture, and remake inequitable and racist systems. There is clear demonstration right now that shows us where avoiding hard work will lead us in society. We have a chance to take a different path, one based on the original intent of treaty, toward a shared prosperity for all of us. There is people who want to carry that relationship forward, and there is people who want to be good neighbors. There is people in places of power and decision making who really acknowledge that their prosperity and spaces have been built on systemic discrimination. We will get through all of this together, standing together. So on this day, National Indigenous Peoples Day, celebrate our resiliency. Celebrate with us, our allies, our newcomer neighbors, and all the people who get to be here because our ancestors entered into treaty. Have a wonderful day. Be proud that we are here and we still have the things that we do. Miigwech. Tiniki adelante para mercicho. Thank you.
On behalf of Horizon School Division, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Councillor Max Ittitikoose, Daystar First Nation, and also Mary Culbertson of Office of Treaty Commission for sharing their messages and wisdom. And I would also like to personally thank my colleagues on the board, Director Kevin Garinger, Aboriginal Coordinator Bryan McNabb, and Melanie Gray, and all others that were involved in making our Aboriginal Day a success.
Tanse, I hope you and your families are doing well during this strange and eventful time. June 21st is coming up and it's National Indigenous Peoples Day. This is a symbolic day to recognize the diversity in Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 territory. It recognizes the First Nations, Metis and Inuit people in our great land we call Canada. I would like to thank the Horizon community for acknowledging this special day in our school division. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, I wish each and every one of you a great day and a great summer. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I am proud to share this message in recognition of National Indigenous Peoples Day. Horizon School Division is on Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 territory, as well as being the homeland of the Métis. We have flown the reconciliation flags of our First Nation partners each year, and this year we continue to fly our flags here in our Horizon School Division office. Horizon School Division and our partners work tirelessly to ensure that we provide support for our students and families, and that reconciliation continues to be an important part of everything we do within our system. We need to ensure a future that is full of opportunity, understanding, celebration, and success. We are honored to share a message from Daystar Councillor Max Ittitikoose. We also have a message from Treaty Commissioner Mary Culbertson. Horizon's Board of Education is deeply committed to relationship building and supporting reconciliation. I want to take this time to thank our board for their ongoing support and leadership in this critical area. I also want to thank my staff for coordinating this important event, including Superintendent of Student Services Daryl Poprosky, Assistant Superintendent of First Nation, Métis and Inuit Education Services Bryan McNabb, Communication Services Officer Lance Hiltz, and Executive Assistant to our Chief Financial Officer, Melanie Gray. Thank you for your work. While we have our message of thanks and acknowledgement on this important day, myself and all others can do one very important thing, and that is to listen. In 2015, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada published their calls to action, and in it, they talked about redressing the legacy of residential schools and advancing the process of Canadian reconciliation. As nations, leaders, educators, and communities, we can only achieve this critical responsibility through strong relationship and through collaboration. It is our privilege and our responsibility to engage in these important conversations and to work towards a better world for the next generation. As the Honorable Justice Senator Murray Sinclair has said, education holds the key to reconciliation. It is where our country will heal itself. Thank you, Horizon School Division.